Welcome to my bold and beautiful today's show channel. I hope today fantastic for everyone. Please hit the subscribe button and give this video thumbs up. Hope and Carter breakup plot exposed. The Bold and the Beautiful reveals that the Hope Logan and Carter Walton breakup plot was exposed as Katie Logan overheard too much. At Brooke Logan's house on Tuesday's B&B episode, she continued basking in the afterglow of her showstopper moment. Eric Forrester, who was eager to get to the office and speak with Ridge Forrester, and Katie were both present to assist in the celebration. Despite Eric's admiration for Taylor Hayes, he was adamant that Brooke was the woman Ridge would end up with. After Eric took off, Katie gave Brooke some reassuring predictions about Taylor's hold on Ridge slipping away. Katie felt confident that Ridge was moving past what he viewed as Brooke's betrayal and on the precipice of a reunion with her. At the Forrester mansion, Taylor seemed glum and uneasy over all the Brooke buzz in the press. There was a lot of focus on nostalgia, and some reporters were even calling Brooke and Ridge the first couple of fashion. Ridge downplayed everything as best as he could and let Taylor know none of this changed how he felt about her or their romance. Steffy Forrester could tell that her mother was worried about Brooke winning back Ridge, so after Ridge left, she tried to put those worries aside. In the showroom, Daphne Rose made another pitch for Carter to forget about Hope and focus on their own future, but he pulled away from her attempt to kiss him again. Zende Forrester Dominguez observed the two of them for a moment before privately questioning Daphne about whether or not she had genuine feelings for Carter. Since Daphne did, Zende basically acknowledged how messy all this was since Daphne came to town as part of a plot with Steffy. Katie appeared around the corner and eavesdropped as Zende talked about Daphne scheming with Steffy to break up Hope and Carter. Zende stressed the importance of keeping all this quiet, especially since more than just Carter and Daphne would be affected. Once Zende was gone, Katie cornered Daphne to ask what her secret was. After Katie acted like she was talking about Daphne's perfumes, she suggested it must be fun making potions and manipulating people like Carter. In the CEO office, Ridge confronted Eric over the showstopper stunt he pulled. Eric defended his actions and tried to play up how Brooke was Ridge's path forward. Ridge didn't want to let Taylor down once more, especially considering that she had never let him down like Brooke had. Although Ridge reminded Eric of Brooke's CEO betrayal during the takeover, Eric pushed him to get over that. Despite how easily Ridge turned his back on Brooke, Eric said she was ready to forgive him. Eric didn't want Ridge to blame Brooke anymore and ultimately reiterated that she was Ridge's future. The Bold and the Beautiful spoilers say Eric will hope Ridge makes some updates to his point of view. Hope's change of heart. Katie threatens to rat Daphne out. The Bold and the Beautiful reveal that Hope Logan will have a surprising change of heart while Katie Logan threatens to rat Daphne Rose out. At Brooke Logan's place, Hope will have a conversation with her mom about Ridge Forrester. It wasn't too long ago that Hope was basically mocking Brooke for chasing after Ridge in another reunion attempt. Ridge has been trashing Hope lately, so it's easy to see why she's been so quick to trash him right back for running to Taylor Hayes. However, Hope will decide to voice her support for Brooke and Ridge getting back together since that's what her mom wants. Hope will ultimately hope that Brooke finds the happiness she's craving, even if it's with Ridge. Brooke will be touched over Hope's willingness to look beyond her Ridge issues and back her up on this, so they'll share a sweet mother-daughter moment. As for Ridge, he'll have a lot to mull over now that Eric Forrester, John McCook, has been pushing him to follow his heart back to Brooke. Part of Ridge may be tempted to do just that, but another part of him will keep going back to his desire to protect Taylor from more pain. Brooke will eventually meet up with Ridge at the office and make another prediction about their new chapter as a reunited couple. It's just a matter of whether Ridge will surrender to what Brooke feels they both want, but B&B spoilers hint that some disappointment is in Brooke's future. In the meantime, Katie will continue her tense discussion with Daphne now that she's found out about the plot to break up Hope and Carter Walton. Daphne is eager to keep the news about her scheme with Steffy Forrester under wraps, but Katie may threaten to blow the lid off all this and let Carter see the real Daphne. According to The Bold and the Beautiful, Katie might inform Carter of Daphne's upcoming visit to Los Angeles to sabotage Steffy. Liam cheated on Hope but Carter betrayed her. The two might seem like they are the same, but truth be told, they are actually very different in the way they operate. Liam cheated on Hope but Carter betrayed her. The Bold and the Beautiful say that Liam and Carter both did Hope wrong, but it looks like Liam is the true cheater, while it's Carter who just betrayed her. However, it seems like The Bold and the Beautiful fans are split as to who might have done Hope more dirty with their immoral behavior. Because truth be told, it seemed like Hope was just in love and infatuated with Carter as she was with Liam while they were still married. However, some people think what Carter did was transactional. As our readers can imagine, the internet had a lot to say about the matter on social media. Some have even commented with, Liam 100% cheated on Hope but Carter betrayed Hope's song. Their relationship is new. His kissing Daphne isn't the worst part, but like they aren't married, don't have kids. Why should she put herself through that again? Another fan wrote, they dated a grand total of 47 minutes and not only did he cheat, he didn't even have the backbone to stand up for her, in front of her, to the people he supposedly considers family when they slut-shame her. Liam may be a spineless worm of a man, but not even he would have let that slide. What's next for Hope Logan? And then there was this comment as well. Hope forgave Carter with the Daphne kiss, unlike what Liam did, so it's the betrayal by Carter that hits her hard, right? He stood there while she was berated and called names etc. His pathetic. Then again, the bold and the beautiful fans will simply have to tune in each and every day to find out what will happen next. Carter's fury erupts when Katie reveals Steffy and Daphne's secret plot. The bold and the beautiful reveal Katie Logan witnesses a disturbing moment between Carter and Daphne, leading her to uncover Steffy's manipulation plot. When Katie exposes the truth, Carter's fury at the betrayal may change everything at Forrester Creations. Katie exposes Steffy and Daphne's sinister scheme against Carter. Katie Logan's shocking discovery leads to Carter Walton's fury as the manipulation plot is finally revealed. Just when you thought Steffy Forrester couldn't get any more devious. The power struggle at Forrester Creations has taken a shocking turn this week as Katie Logan stumbles upon the truth behind Daphne Rose's sudden interest in Carter Walton. And trust me, what she discovers will leave you gasping. The kiss that changed everything. On Monday's episode, Katie witnesses something that confirms her worst suspicions: Daphne planting a kiss on Carter during a company celebration. The moment sends Katie into protective mode. And can you blame her? After all, Carter isn't just her ex-fiancé, he's someone she still deeply cares about. However, that kiss is only the tip of the iceberg of deception that is about to collapse. Eavesdropping on the ultimate betrayal. How wonderful it is to be in the right place at the right time. Katie accidentally overhears a bombshell conversation between Daphne and Zende Forrester Dominguez that changes everything. The truth? Daphne was recruited by Steffy months ago for one devious purpose: to seduce Carter, pull him away from Hope Logan, and ultimately help the Forresters regain control of the company. The scheme has been months in the making, with Daphne playing the perfect part. Arriving in LA as a sophisticated Parisian perfumer, she's been strategically positioning herself as Carter's emotional support system while subtly turning him against Hope. Katie's confrontation ignites the drama. Katie confronts Daphne directly because she is not one to hold secret information. In Wednesday's must-see episode, she calls Daphne out on her manipulation, accusing her of doing Steffy's dirty work. "You manipulated Carter more than Hope ever did," Katie tells her in a heated confrontation that had me on the edge of my seat. Daphne tries to defend herself, insisting her feelings for Carter are real now, despite the scheme's dishonest beginnings. But Katie's not buying it, and neither am I. She promises Daphne that the truth won't stay hidden for long. Carter's fury unleashed. When Katie finally tells Carter everything she's learned, his reaction is exactly what you'd expect: explosive fury. The betrayal cuts deep, especially since Carter considered both Steffy and Daphne to be his allies. After everything he's been through, from his affair with Quinn Fuller to his complicated relationship with Hope, Carter is once again finding himself the victim of manipulation. Will he ever catch a break? What's next for the betrayed coup? The fallout from this revelation will be massive. Sources suggest Daphne may pack her bags and head back to Paris once her scheme is exposed. Meanwhile, Carter's fury could drive him back toward Hope, with Liam Spencer even encouraging a reconciliation between them. The bold and the beautiful Carter's fury erupts when Katie reveals Steffy and Daphne's secret plot. The bold and the beautiful reveal Katie Logan witnesses a disturbing moment between Carter and Daphne, leading her to uncover Steffy's manipulation plot. Carter's rage over the betrayal may alter Forrester Creations forever if Katie spills the beans. Published by Nancy Bannister. Katie exposes Steffy-Daphne scheme. Bombshell betrayal. Katie exposes Steffy and Daphne's sinister scheme against Carter. Katie Logan's shocking discovery leads to Carter Walton's fury as the manipulation plot is finally revealed. Just when you thought Steffy Forrester couldn't get any more devious. The power struggle at Forrester Creations has taken a shocking turn this week as Katie Logan stumbles upon the truth behind Daphne Rose's sudden interest in Carter Walton. And trust me, what she discovers will leave you gasping. The kiss that changed everything. On Monday's episode, Katie witnesses something that confirms her worst suspicions: Daphne planting a kiss on Carter during a company celebration. Can you blame Katie for going into defensive mode during this time? After all, Carter isn't just her ex-fiancé, he's someone she still deeply cares about. But that smooch is just the tip of the iceberg of deception that's about to come crashing down. Eavesdropping on the ultimate betrayal. Talk about being in the right place at the right time. Katie accidentally overhears a bombshell conversation between Daphne and Zende Forrester Dominguez that changes everything. The truth? Daphne was recruited by Steffy months ago for one devious purpose: to seduce Carter, pull him away from Hope Logan, and ultimately help the Forresters regain control of the company. The scheme has been months in the making, with Daphne playing the perfect part. Arriving in LA as a sophisticated Parisian perfumer, she's been strategically positioning herself as Carter's emotional support system while subtly turning him against Hope. See also: B&B spoilers. Steffy is enraged by Brooke and Ridge's runway magic because Eric takes credit for the showstopper, but here's where it gets complicated. Daphne claims her feelings for Carter have become genuine. Katie's confrontation ignites the drama. Not one to sit on explosive information, Katie wastes no time confronting Daphne directly. In Wednesday's must-see episode, she calls Daphne out on her manipulation, accusing her of doing Steffy's dirty work. "You've manipulated Carter more than Hope ever did," Katie tells her in a heated confrontation that had me on the edge of my seat. Daphne tries to defend herself, insisting her feelings for Carter are real now, despite the scheme's dishonest beginnings. But Katie's not buying it, and neither am I. She promises Daphne that the truth won't stay hidden for long. The fury of Carter was finished when Katie finally tells Carter everything she's learned. His reaction is exactly what you'd expect: explosive fury. The betrayal cuts deep, especially since Carter considered both Steffy and Daphne to be his allies. After everything he's been through, from his affair with Quinn Fuller to his complicated relationship with Hope, Carter is once again finding himself the victim of manipulation. Will he ever catch a break? What's next for the betrayed coup? The fallout from this revelation will be massive. Sources suggest Daphne may pack her bags and head back to Paris once her scheme is exposed. Meanwhile, Carter's fury could drive him back toward Hope, with Liam Spencer even encouraging a reconciliation between them. See also: are Donna and Katie forever doomed as Brooke's loyal doormats? As for Steffy, her power play could seriously backfire, potentially alienating her from her family, especially if Ridge and Eric Forrester disapprove of her underhanded tactics. Everyone is wondering if Carter will ever trust again after yet another betrayal. And can the professional relationships at Forrester Creations ever recover from this shocking scheme? One thing's certain: when the dust settles at Forrester Creations next week, nothing will ever be the same. Brooke's triumph and Katie's eavesdropping. The week's drama began with Brooke Logan basking in the afterglow of a triumphant runway moment, which had the fashion world buzzing. Eric Forrester, ever her supporter, joined her at home, reinforcing his belief that Brooke, not Taylor Hayes, was Ridge's true destiny. Katie detected Brooke's persistent insecurity regarding Ridge's shifting loyalties despite Eric's optimism. Katie reassured her sister that Ridge was slowly moving past his anger over Brooke's past betrayals and would eventually return to her. Meanwhile, at the Forrester mansion, Taylor's unease grew as media outlets hyped up Brooke and Ridge as the first couple of fashion. Ridge downplayed the rumors, insisting his commitment to Taylor remained unchanged, but Steffy could see her mother's anxiety simmering beneath the surface. The real bombshell, however, unfolded in the Forrester Creations showroom. Daphne Rose, the mysterious perfumer with ties to Paris, made another bold move on Carter, attempting to kiss him despite his resistance. Daphne was privately confronted by Zende Forrester Dominguez after Zende Forrester Dominguez saw the exchange and inquired as to whether Daphne's feelings for Carter were genuine or part of a larger scheme. Katie hid in the vicinity without their knowledge, listening in on Zende's reference to Daphne's alliance with Steffy, a plot to break up Hope and Carter. Katie's discovery. The plot unravels. Katie, never one to shy away from confrontation, cornered Daphne after Zende left. Playing coy at first, she feigned interest in Daphne's perfumes before dropping the hammer. It must be fun making potions and manipulating people like Carter. When Daphne realized that her secret was no longer safe, the tension was palpable. Katie's discovery was about more than just Carter's heart. It also revealed Steffy's covert strategies for controlling Forrester Creations by tearing Hope and Carter apart. Meanwhile, Ridge faced his own turmoil. Eric's relentless push for a Brooke reunion left him torn between loyalty to Taylor and his undeniable history with Brooke. Ridge's internal conflict mirrored Carter's external one. Both men were pawns in a larger game of power and passion. Hope's change of heart, a shift in allegiances. In a surprising twist, Hope Logan, once critical of Brooke's relentless pursuit of Ridge, softened her stance. Recognizing her mother's genuine love for Ridge, Hope offered her support, setting aside her own grievances with the Forrester patriarch. This emotional mother-daughter moment highlighted Hope's growth, but it also underscored the cyclical nature of relationships in B&B. Forgiveness and second chances are always on the table, no matter the betrayal. Carter's betrayal versus Liam's cheating. Fan debate ignites. The fallout from Carter and Daphne's near kiss sparked heated debates among fans. Was Carter's betrayal worse than Liam's serial cheating? Some argued that while Liam's infidelities were more blatant, Carter's failure to defend Hope against the Forresters' harsh judgments cut deeper. Social media erupted with opinions. Liam 100% cheated on Hope, but Carter betrayed her. His kissing Daphne isn't the worst part, it's that he stood by while Hope was berated. They dated for 47 minutes, and he already folded under pressure. Pathetic. Hope forgave Carter for the kiss, but the betrayal? That's what stings. The consensus? Both men failed Hope, but in different ways. Liam with his wandering heart, Carter with his spineless compliance. Carter's fury. The aftermath of Katie's revelation. When Katie finally exposes Steffy and Daphne's scheme to Carter, his reaction is volcanic. Having endured Quinn's manipulations, a rollercoaster engagement to Katie, and now this, Carter's trust is shattered. Steffy, whose actions crossed a line, is the target of his rage in addition to Daphne. Daphne, realizing her deception has backfired, may flee to Paris, but the damage is done. Carter's fury could reshape dynamics at Forrester Creations, potentially driving him back to Hope, or into a vengeful alliance against Steffy. At Brooke Logan's house, a storm was brewing beneath the bright celebratory glow that followed her triumphant showstopper moment, as champagne flutes clinked and laughter echoed off the walls in an atmosphere that felt like a fleeting mirage of peace. It became clear that some alliances were strengthening while others were quietly fraying at the seams as Eric Forrester basked in the elegance of Brooke's return to form and reminded everyone, including himself, that Brooke would forever be Ridge Forrester's unavoidable destination, regardless of how strong Taylor Hayes' presence might be. Katie Logan, standing with her sister in the same living room that had witnessed decades of drama, betrayal, and redemption, offered words of comfort and insight, making it known she felt Ridge's heart was slowly migrating back to Brooke and that Taylor's grip was slipping with every passing moment. Her intuition was sharp, almost prophetic, especially as she spoke with the ease of someone who had watched enough of Ridge's push-pull romances to know how the story usually ended. Meanwhile, Eric's exit toward Forrester Creations masked a deeper urgency, not just to talk to Ridge about Brooke's shining moment, but to stake his legacy claim over the family's fashion dynasty once again. As Katie continued reassuring Brooke, her words barely settled before the truth about another romantic entanglement, one far less rooted in destiny and far more riddled with manipulation, began to unravel in the least expected of ways. At the Forrester mansion, Taylor's joyless expression spoke volumes. Even Ridge's attempt to comfort her, assuring her that the press buzz surrounding Brooke meant nothing to him, couldn't mask her deepening anxiety. Taylor was astute, not naive. She knew too well that Ridge's heart had always been like a pendulum, forever swinging between the past and the present, between her and Brooke, and no matter how loudly Ridge protested, the world's embrace of Brooke as the First Lady of Fashion felt like an ominous signal that Taylor's days in his arms were numbered. Even Steffy Forrester, ever the fierce protector of her mother's happiness, tried to cushion Taylor's rising dread, dismissing the tabloid nostalgia as nothing more than superficial chatter. But her confidence wavered, just enough to be noticed, because even she couldn't deny the heat radiating off Brooke's resurgence. While that emotional storm simmered behind closed doors, a more dangerous one exploded in the shadows of the Forrester showroom, where Daphne Rose once again tried to seduce Carter Walton into leaving the mess of his current relationship with Hope Logan behind and stepping into a new, uncomplicated future with her, a future that, on the surface, appeared promising but was undercut by treachery. Carter, who had already been emotionally torn by Hope's increasing distance and confusion, recoiled from Daphne's advances once more, not because he didn't feel tempted, but because something in his gut warned him this wasn't just a random flirtation. It felt staged, rehearsed, too coincidental to be real. As fate would have it, Zende Forrester Dominguez, who had only recently begun unraveling the deeper implications of Daphne's arrival, caught the tail end of her latest move on Carter. Once Carter walked off, Zende pulled Daphne aside with a heavy conscience, revealing that he knew she wasn't simply a newcomer looking for love. Instead, he confronted her with the damning truth, that she had come to Los Angeles as part of a calculated scheme engineered by Steffy Forrester herself, a plot designed to rip Hope and Carter apart for reasons no one yet fully understood, though all signs pointed towards Steffy wanting to realign the power dynamics both professionally and romantically. Daphne, no longer able to play dumb, admitted her feelings for Carter had grown beyond the plan, but that only made things messier. Zende, clearly conflicted by his own feelings and loyalty to the family, warned her that this couldn't get out. It would not only end careers but also damage legacy if people learned that Hope and Carter's breakup was planned. What neither of them realized, however, was that their conversation had already reached a pair of ears that shouldn't have been anywhere near the Forrester inner sanctum, Katie Logan. Katie, who had wandered into the corridor just in time to hear the end of Zenday's heated exchange with Daphne, stood frozen in disbelief as the implications settled in. The very sister she had been championing that morning had unknowingly become the victim of a Forrester-devised con, and the man Hope had allowed into her fragile heart, Carter, was being manipulated from every direction. Katie, ever the quiet observer and protective sibling, watched Zenday walk away before stepping out from behind the wall and confronting Daphne directly, her eyes sharp and voice steely with indignation wrapped in sarcasm. She feigned innocence at first, playfully referencing Daphne's supposed perfume potions, but there was venom beneath her words as she accused Daphne of toying with people's lives like they were disposable chess pieces. Daphne, caught off guard but attempting to maintain composure, danced around the truth, but Katie made it abundantly clear she wasn't buying the act. She didn't need a confession, she had heard enough to know the truth, and that meant it was only a matter of time before she decided whether to protect Hope from more heartache or let the truth explode and watch the pieces fall where they may. Ridge confronted Eric in the CEO's office about the stunning, unapproved showstopper moment that had frightened the entire company and significantly altered public perception. Ridge, still trying to maintain authority in the business and in his love life, realized that Eric's bold move had reinvigorated Brooke's status in ways he wasn't entirely prepared for, and that bothered him more than he let on. But as the business drama between Ridge and Eric continued to unfold, the emotional core of the plot centered on what Katie would do next. Armed with information that could unravel multiple relationships, shatter Steffi's carefully crafted public image, and thrust Hope into a position of betrayal not just from her romantic partner but from her family's supposed allies, Katie found herself in a position of rare power. Yet this wasn't just about vengeance or morality, it was about timing. Katie had to consider who needed protecting most and what would be lost if the truth came out. Hope, already weary from her up-and-down journey with Liam Spencer and the fallout from Thomas Forrester's obsessive love, had only recently begun trusting her instincts again. If she discovered that her relationship with Carter had been manipulated from the start, it could send her into emotional freefall. And Carter, despite his vulnerability, didn't deserve to be collateral damage either. Now that she knew, Katie was squarely in the middle of the same moral quagmire Brooke and Taylor had frequently faced, whether to expose the lie and blow up the world or find a more subtle way to move forward. Her decision would undoubtedly reshape everything. Steffy, on the other hand, continued to push the narrative that Hope wasn't right for Carter and that their bond was superficial and based on comfort rather than chemistry, even though she was unaware that her secret alliance with Daphne had been compromised. She still believed she could guide Carter towards someone more aligned with Forrester values and business interests, like Daphne, without realizing that her manipulations were about to backfire spectacularly.